All right, welcome back to part 3 where we're talking about the queer elder, the queer spiritual elder. But I want to give you some other names to kind of flavor this conversation so you have kind of new lenses out of which to begin to receive this calling that's already inside of you. You know, my belief is we come to the earth, and whether it's a designed purpose or it's a cultivated purpose, or those things kind of happen together, that situations are given to us to step up and step out and take our place in community and eldership. But when I mean eldership, you know, you can say queer spiritual elder, you can say, as in the last video, dream weavers are the elders in the community. There are many who bring our dreams together and synthesize them, speak them out, and it becomes our kind of shared truth that informs the world and takes the world into a bigger place. One of those people that I shared last time when we did the archetype of the sacred prostitute on this ecstatic path was about James Broughton. And James Broughton, when I met him, one of the teachings that he used was to insist on love. That was his phrase. That was his mantra that he taught us for the weekend that we were with him in. And he said, insist on love. The archetype of the queer elder is a dream weaver who insists on love. So insisting on love means that you're a guardian of our history. One of the things that I know as a gay man coming up in the Midwest was just how little I knew about gay queer history, period. In fact, I lived in a city where the mayor at the time when I was beginning to come out said, we don't have a problem with gay people here because we don't have any gay people. And when it came to things like the big march on Washington that happened and the AIDS quilt, oftentimes those things were not even reported. So our gay histories are oftentimes just not even told. So part of the queer elder is actually being the record keeper, being the transmitter of the oral tradition of let us tell the stories of the queer tribe. So imagine getting together a group of men and telling your queer stories and keeping record of them, because how many records of our stories have ever been heard, let alone shared with the larger world? And we know when we share our larger stories, our stories to the larger world, it changes them. It allows them to have to break through all of their crap and ideology and fixed boxes about who they think we are, to actually know that we are fellow human beings on the path that bring a great contribution and gift to this path of humanity. So we are the record keepers, we're the historians, and the guardians of history, we're the storytellers, and we're the gatekeepers. So getting back to the archetype of the queer elder from last time that we talked with the sacred prostitute in the Dagara tribe, the Dagara people actually have a segment of the tribe who are really men who love men, but they don't identify as gay, but they go into their caves so that they can access their ancestors. And they get into ecstatic spaces to actually get in their bodies and bring the collective wisdom to the tribe from the ancestors, from Great Spirit. And they do that often with touch rituals in their caves. So there are many names now I want you to think of as you think of queer elder and all kind of the loaded stuff that it may bring. Soften it with new lenses. So I'm going to give you a few more. So common one, just teacher and student. You know, if you're going to be a teacher, you're going to be a student. If you're going to be a student, you're going to be a teacher. And the queer elder really knows how to always be the student of the teacher and the teacher to the student. Life coaches, many of you are already called to do life coaching and help people in the transformation process. That's really about stepping in and stepping out as a queer elder. Mentoring. You know, God, when I finally met someone who kind of took me under his wing as a mentor later in life that I spoke about in the last video, how refreshing it was just to have coffee with him and talk about stories about the tribe and what's cooking and what I'm bumping up against, because how many of us have been taught how to live bright and shining and full and vibrant lives as gay queer men on the planet, let alone share our gifts with the world. So a mentor, a counselor, a leader, and finally an embodied spiritual guide. So those are just some words I want you to think about as we talk about the gay queer elder, to give you, again, some new lenses to hear in a new way. What does it mean to me in my life right now, whether I'm 20 or 80, to be a gay, queer, spiritual elder? Namaste.